What's going on, everybody? It's your observant lineman. I am back with more info in regards to the Richard Sherman saga. And, it's quite bizarre. Things have gotten quite bizarre in regards to the chronological timeline in which this entire thing led to him being arrested around 6 a.m. this morning in Washington. But let's take a look here at this article. Who else but TMZ to get you the dirt on what's going on with the juicy gossip for this story. But it says here, apparently, NFL's Richard Sherman taken down by K9 in fight with cops before arrest. That is a very risky thing to get involved in, fighting the cops. I'll tell you what. But let's take a look at this here. It says, this is an update. Sherman was taken down by a police K9 after trying to break into a family member's home in Redmond, Washington, before his arrest on Wednesday morning. This according to law enforcement. A Redmond police spokesman tells TMZ Sports the incident all went down at 2 a.m. According to the spokesperson, officers showed up to a residence in Redmond after receiving a call from the occupants inside the home who claimed a family member who did not live there was trying to break in. I wonder if while he didn't live there, I wonder if Richard Sherman is the one who bought the house. Pretty sure that might be a reason why he was trying to break in. If I was going to try and break in to a family member's home like that and be so bold as to just try and barge right up in there, there's a good chance I probably actually bought that for them. So I'm willing to bet this is likely the case for a 10-year NFL Hall of Fame lock. But let's continue on. Cops say when they arrived on scene, they identified Sherman as a suspect and claim he became uncooperative and combative during questioning. Sherman allegedly fought with the cops so much, we're told a K9 was deployed to take the player down and help bring him into custody. Okay, so if Richard Sherman did indeed fight the cops, which we haven't heard his side of the story yet, we don't know exactly the truth of the matter in regards to that aspect, and I will say this because I believe this, and there's a lot of evidence that this does happen on a regular basis. Police officers tend to embellish their police reports. I won't say they lie, but you can find many cases where police officers do embellish their police reports to avoid any kind of questioning as to their maneuvers and tactics and the need for them to be made in the way they were. I mean, that's just something that I've seen. I'm not saying that that's how all cops are, but I have seen that on a lot of occasions. Now, cops say he was taken to the hospital to be looked at for possible injuries before he was eventually booked at the county jail. There's more. The Redmond PD spokesperson also tells us Washington State Patrol is involved in the case after Sherman allegedly crashed his vehicle into a cement freeway barrier before he advanced on foot to the home. Yeah, that's bizarre. But could be a number of different reasons why that happened. So we can't necessarily, jump to a conclusion as of yet because we have not heard from Richard Sherman or his side of this story at all. He's in jail without bail. Jail records show Sherman still remains behind bars. Let's see here. Future Hall of Famer Richard Sherman was arrested early this morning in Washington for burglary and domestic violence and has been denied bail, TMZ Sports has learned. This is all stuff that we've actually went over in the last video, but wow, this is quite an uptick into what could be a very severe situation for Richard Sherman. I think one of the biggest issues with this entire story is that we have yet to really hear from the NFL in this. And right now he's a free agent, so he's not with the team. But there were teams, I'm sure, who were very interested in at least bringing him on a 1-year deal. And this is really this is going to be a situation now that's going to be handled not only by the police, but also by Roger Goodell, because he will be now in the player personal conduct policy, and Roger Goodell is going to meet with them. Roger Goodell is going to they're going to see the details of the case and how it's being set up and find the facts of it. And he could be looking at a possible suspension from the NFL as well. Definitely a fine, I'm sure. If they find that he had some wrongdoing in this, which it looks like prematurely right now that he may have, then you'll be looking at a fine. He'll be looking at a fine and a possible suspension. And, the fact that they had to use a canine to bring him down, that is definitely, I think that kind of speaks more to the fact that as professional football players, it's not the same to try and take a football player who is trained to ignore pain and ignore, hits on his body. It's going to be much harder to bring somebody like that into a submissive position where you can take them into custody, because they're not going to feel a lot of what you try to do to them. And, we've all seen the videos of cops when they try to take down guys. Cops are going to be punching, they're going to be kicking, they're going to be choking, they're going to be tasing. A football player is probably more often than not going to be able to withstand a lot of that, especially, somebody as big as Richard Sherman. He's not a small guy. I think Richard Sherman is like 6'2", 6'3". He's a solid 200 pounds, 180, 200 pounds. Like, he's not a small guy. He's a strong guy. He's a physical guy. And, I could see where it might end up getting to the point where you need a K9. But we'll have to see. I'm sure there's probably some body cam footage. Hopefully we get to see that if there is, so we can actually have a look at what actually went down. Because again, like I said earlier, police reports tend to be embellished, in my opinion. This is something that I have always kind of felt happen, but now in today's age, I've seen more and more. When you see police reports and compare them to the actual body camera footage, there's discrepancies all over the place based on what they reported. So, take that for what it is. Grain of salt. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that is that it's a fact that that's all they do. I'm just saying that you're seeing more and more instances where the police reports don't match up with the actual facts of the situation. But what do you guys think? I think it's early right now for us to really decide on this. I'm not going to demonize this cat, but I know that it's a situation where he's got some issues to deal with here. So I'm not going to pile on and talk bad about him. I'm just going to say that until we hear his side of the story, we can only, react to what we're being told happened. Soon enough, we'll hear from Richard Sherman, either him or his attorney, and they'll be giving us more info to kind of fill in and give more context to the events that led up to this. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the Observant Lineman, Uche, Nwaneri. Appreciate you guys very much for checking this video out. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.